Ticker symbol DIVO or DIVO, the Amplify CWP Enhanced Dividend Income ETF, is an ETF that I personally have held in my portfolio for several years now. This ETF has not only grown over time, but paid me massive amounts of income every single month, and I personally think this ETF doesn't necessarily get the respect it deserves because of how high the returns have been historically. Now in this video I want to go over DIVO, explain what this ETF is, how it works, because it sort of is misunderstood to some investors. But I also want to share with you guys why I personally bought $52,000 worth of DIVO and how much I earn every single month because of this. So if you're an income dividend focused investor, I promise you, you're going to want to stick around until the end. So drop a like down below and let's get right into it. Real quick, for those that haven't already, make sure to go to the first link in my description and grab my new dividend investing ebook, where I share exactly how I went from $0 invested to now earning over $6,000 on a monthly basis and over $1 million invested in the market. Along with the ebook, you're also going to receive my custom dividend tracker, where you can track your dividend progress on an ongoing basis and reach your dividend investing goals. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. So to back up for a second, this ETF is brought to us by Amplify ETFs, and they offer tons of other ETFs, some that I like more than others, but DIVO is my absolute favorite. Now I came across DIVO a while back because it sort of offers exactly what I'm looking for as my objective as an investor altogether. It offers upside potential as far as capital appreciation goes, but it also offers a nice amount of dividend income right from the start, which is a bonus on top. Now it says right here, why invest in DIVO? Income potential, comprised of high quality dividend oriented stocks along with cover calls on individual stocks. Now this right off the bat is sort of unique because a lot of times different cover call style or income style ETFs, they buy into an index and sell out of the money call options and don't really think too hard about it. But DIVO is comprised of specific holdings, 33 of them to be exact. I'm going to show you which ones they are here in a second. And then along with selling cover calls on individual names, this ETF has the potential to not only seek upside, but also because of that, this ETF is able to earn a ton of premium and then transfer that premium into dividends to investors. And speaking of all that work, this ETF is of course actively managed. It says active management allows the portfolio manager or the CWP to identify opportunities and risks and act on those decisions in real time. Now this ETF does have an expense ratio of 0.56%, which is a little bit higher than what you're going to see across the market for a lot of other ETFs. But with it being actively managed, I think it's very, very fair. Now lastly, under why invest in DIVO, it says seek to lower volatility. Dividend and option income may provide lower share price volatility versus the overall market during times of broad-based market declines. And of course, don't take my word for it, but I personally have held on to DIVO for several years now. And during market crashes, when the market is overall down, say 2%, 3%, 4%, DIVO always seems to sort of stay right in the middle area. It's relatively low beta. Now, the other reason I love DIVO is because you're getting so much exposure to some of the highest quality dividend payers across the entire market. If we look at some of the top holdings as of right now, and keep in mind a lot of these holdings are somewhat familiar and stick around in DIVO's top holdings quite a bit. But with DIVO, you get exposed to names like Caterpillar, United Health Group. We have names like Visa, Apple, Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, a whole lot of different high quality growth / dividend growth names. But along with that, you can see right here, the cover call overlay on different names within the fund is going to offer a fund like this, which wouldn't necessarily be able to earn that much in income, a whole lot of income ASAP. Now I promise that DIVO not only has went up in price over time, but also offers a ton as far as income from day one. And to be specific, we're talking around 4.7, 4.8% distribution rate, which is massive once again because you're getting exposure to names like Apple, like Caterpillar, different names that although have growth potential, don't necessarily pay anywhere near this sort of distribution rate. So again, the cool thing about DIVO is because of that cover call overlay, you're getting exposure and you're going to get some upside. Like you would get holding onto some of these 33 different names, but also with that cover call overlay, you're getting a ton of income potential from day one. Now, as far as DIVO's performance on the max time frame, it's trading pretty close to all-time highs right now. It's up around 63.8%, and maybe that's not as much growth as you would expect since 2017. But remember, investors like myself have been earning around 5 to 5.5% yield on cost over the past several years. On top of that, an ETF that's been going up, say 10%, 5%, 12% per year is not bad whatsoever. Now, another reason I absolutely love DIVO is because it pays a dividend on a monthly frequency. Now, this could maybe be more important to some investors, maybe less important to some investors, but for me personally, an investor that's looking to use their dividend income to pay for things like bills in the future, building out a long-term portfolio with the most monthly payers as possible is definitely going to be helpful. Now, as far as dividend growth goes, the payouts have been higher and lower over the years, but for the most part, you're kind of going to expect around 14 to 15 to 16 cents per share on a monthly basis for an ETF that costs around 40 to 41 bucks. Now, I shared with you guys the fact that I currently own around $52,000 worth of DIVO. That's how much I spent on it at least. And I am up on the position a little bit. But because I have around 1,500 shares of DIVO that pay me somewhere around 15 cents per share per month, that means that DIVO alone is paying me around 225 bucks every single month. And I've held on to DIVO for several years now, so I've definitely got my money's worth with this one. That also means that if I want to drip my dividends back into more shares of DIVO, I could potentially buy around 5.5 more shares every single month as of right now, which would of course pay me an extra 15 cents per share per month, or almost around $1 extra every single month. Now, the Amplify CWP Enhanced Dividend Income ETF probably is not the perfect ETF for every single investor out there. Maybe it lacks a little bit of yield, maybe it lacks a little bit of growth, but I personally think that it offers the stability in your portfolio and offers just the right amount of growth and just the right amount of yield for an investor that wants a stable portfolio and a portfolio that you can sort of count on. Because honestly, out of all the positions in my portfolio altogether, DIVO has never once kept me up at night. Now, I said earlier in the video towards the intro that I don't think DIVO necessarily gets the respect it deserves because over the past 7 or 8 years since DIVO has been trading, if an investor bought $10,000 worth of this ETF and reinvested those dividends along the way, over the past 8 or so years, an investor would have been left with $24,000 to $25,000 or an average annual total return of around 12.09%. Now, again, are there some ETFs and some single stocks out there that are going to give you massive returns, maybe much more than 12%? Sure, there's definitely some of them out there. But as far as a high quality ETF that gives you exposure to some upside, but along with that, almost a 5% yield right from the bat, DIVO is one of the best to do it across the entire market. And honestly, I'm not really sure on why there's not more ETFs that sort of steal this same strategy. So now that we talked about DIVO, I shared with you guys what this ETF is, how it works. I shared with you guys how much DIVO I personally hold across my portfolios, and even how much I earn every single month from this ETF. I lastly want to hear from you guys down below. When it comes to DIVO, the Amplify CWP Enhanced Dividend Income ETF, is this ETF in your portfolio as of right now? Let us know yes or no in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.